Hello and welcome. This is Dawn Brookes, author of the Rachel Prince mystery series and the Lady Marjorie Snelthorpe mystery series and the Carlos Jacobi series. I'm just popping in today to record a little bit about Rachel Prince and Rachel Prince's bio, because so many of you have enjoyed Rachel Prince's stories that I thought it would be a good thing to do to tell you a little bit more about her. So, Rachel Prince's full name is Rachel Laura Prince. In the first book, A Cruise to Murder, she's aged 25-year-old. She's got a degree in history, in modern history, which she got at Leeds University. She was a newly qualified police officer in the first book, but of course in Cozy Mysteries the protagonist is not allowed to be a professional, and so she had no authority on a cruise ship. She also had a broken engagement just prior to the first cruise, and so she went on to that cruise with a broken heart. She's 5'10". I think she's 5'11" actually, but anyway, 5'10", 11, depending what tape measure you're using. And she has long blonde hair and blue eyes, and she's absolutely gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. Of course, I based her on myself. I wish. She's a fitness fanatic, an adrenaline junkie. She loves jogging. She eats healthy food, unlike her friend Sarah Bradshaw, who's a nurse on board the cruise ship. She likes strong coffee, and her favourite alcoholic drink is a martini and lemonade. Her father is Brendan Prince. He's a vicar in the village where she grew up, and her mother is Susan Prince, who hosts committees and church socials and all sorts of things, and has always been, along with her father, had a strong influence on Rachel. Her best friend, as already mentioned, is Sarah Bradshaw, who's a cruise ship nurse, and that's how she gets a little bit of inside information during the murder mysteries that she solves. This doesn't quite fit. We'll just carry on. Rachel Prince, her background is that she's always defended the underdog. The conflict that she experiences in her book, the books, throughout the books, is she has trust issues from a broken engagement that happened before the first book, as we've already said. Her strengths are that she has tenacity. Her faith is a strength in her. She's energetic. She's got brilliant sense of humour, and she tries to see the good in people. Her flaws are that she finds it difficult to say no, and she often puts herself in danger, and she is stubborn, particularly when it comes to investigating murder. Growth in terms of how she grows throughout the series. She matures through the books and develops a strong and individual character. In the first book, she's vulnerable and weak, having had this broken engagement and her heart broken. We all know what it's like. We've all we've probably all had our hearts broken at some stage in our lives. In a relationship, she develops a relationship with Carlos Jacobi, who is a private investigator who has his own spin-off series, which is a little bit grittier than the Rachel Prince mystery series, but still doesn't have any gore or strong elements of gore. Her demeanour is that she's confident. She walks tall with a casual posture. She's got an open stance. She's relatable. She's got kind eyes. People can relate to her. She's open and honest, although, as we've said, she holds a little bit back due to this broken heart that she has before the first book. So just a thought about how Rachel is perceived by other people. By strangers, she's often perceived as friendly and helpful. Acquaintances, some like her, some think she's a bit of a do-gooder. and a bit too good to be true. Her colleagues believe she's reliable. She has their back. Authority figures, mostly liked by authority figures, but she will disagree if she feels strongly about something. But they would know that they can trust her to protect them. Friends and inner circle, she's somebody they would trust with their secrets and even with their lives, because she is very protective of those she loves, as we will find throughout the series. Opposite sex drawn to her. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Sometimes she gets a lot of unwelcome attention from people of the opposite sex, and it can sometimes be unwanted and lead to trouble. Some are challenged by her strength of character and definitely by her faith. So, some men like strong women, some don't. And Rachel is a strong woman. So the background to developing Rachel's character. When I wrote the first book, I had a character in my mind who would take on the role of the protagonist. Now, Rachel Prince's character, it has developed and grown even in my head as I've developed her, which you would expect. And she's grown over I've written 10 books now and about to start the 11th. So she has grown over that time. I thought it would be fun to take a look at Rachel as a real person, which is why I am doing this bio. The surname Prince came from very favourite, beloved family pet. Prince was a boxer dog, a bit like Rachel, dog with a bone. But he was a wonderful, gentle boxer who we all adored as a family. He was tan-coloured, and he would always sit. When I sat reading, he would sit with his head on my lap while I lost myself in books. He was a very faithful companion, and I wanted to remember him, which is why I chose her surname as Prince. Prince had belonged to my uncle before we had him, and had been attacked as a puppy by a group of German Shepherd dogs, and almost died, actually. So he had a vulnerability too whenever he saw a German Shepherd, a bit like Rachel's vulnerability towards men who want to be in a relationship with her. So giving Rachel his name as a surname might have subconsciously helped develop her character, which is one of vulnerability, strength, and loyalty combined. And that is hopefully something that you enjoy about listening or reading my books. The first book in the series is, many of you already know because you'll have listened to it on audiobook, is A Cruise to Murder. And just to say, for those people who ask me why on earth I based my cozy mystery series on a cruise ship, is because I actually love cruising. And this, the photo on the left there is one I took in Lithuania in 2019 on the final cruise before the pandemic. Well, not the final cruise before the pandemic, but the final cruise I took before the pandemic hit us all. And hopefully I'll get back to it very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for listening. This is Dawn Brookes, author of the Rachel Prince Mystery Series. I'll see you soon.